Please join me in welcoming Reverend MARGARET Maggie Wilcox, a Dragon Priestess, spiritual and holistic health coach, and intuitive healer. Maggie is a Dragon resonance healer and master of both Dragon and Celtic Reiki. She blends Reiki, Lemurian Energy, Atlantean-Crystal wisdom, guided imagery, intuitive readings, and yoga to help others reconnect with their inner dragon, the inner dragon essence, and return to their true power. So please welcome the luminous Maggie Wilcox. Maggie, welcome. How are you today?
I'm so happy to be here.
It's beautiful to have you.
Ignited by the fire dragons right now. Yeah, since I was a little girl, I've just been in love with the elements and plants. You would find me rolling around in the peppermint bushes and communing with nature and being in my mom's garden. I was really, I was a different kid, a little bit of a different kid. And birds and plants would like tell me their names.
Wow.
And they do to this day. And then I found in 1999, Reiki and yoga, and I was living in Santa Monica. And Santa Monica is, obviously on the water. And it just, we live in certain places that feel so good to us, when we're on the right ley lines. And Santa Monica was one of those places. And it's where, I got a random flyer in the mail to learn healing. And I was like, oh, this is what I need. I was raised in organized religion, but I was breaking free from that. I wanted to be, definitely one with the earth somehow and heal the earth, but also, heal myself and others. I was like, the kid in school with the Band-Aids and the aspirin, I was always trying to help people. And then, Reiki and yoga to this day are still very much part of my daily and in my toolbox. And, Reiki just means hands-on healing. And over time, it's obviously evolved and expanded as our own energy has grown and expanded and our needs have changed, right? And then I found Karuna Reiki, and Karuna Reiki was a very Kuan Yin based, compassionate action. It just blew open my heart chakra even more. But then I realized Kuan Yin was a dragon rider, and I was really tuning in to dragons. I was taking kahuna training. It's called Arch, Ancient Rainbow Conscious Healing, to come back to the bridge to oneness. And I was encountering rainbow serpents in my meditations. And we were doing lots of rainbow healing. And I didn't even know about Lemurians at that time. But, fast forward, about like 2020, I was deep into dragon knowledge, Dragon Reiki, Celtic Reiki, Dragon resonance healing. And then everything just sort of clicked, that everything I've been learning has all, gotten me to this point. And I just love teaching others how to activate their dragon light bodies. But for most of my students, it's about not just healing yourself, but also healing the planet, because we are one with her. So when we work on ourselves, we're also working, and we're the microcosm, we're also working on the earth, which is the macrocosm. And yeah, we align. So when the earth's shifting, because it's a living organism, we're also coming into its higher vibration. Much like when you wear crystals, right? And you decide to wear those crystals for a period of time, and then your vibration matches it. It's, what we're doing on the planet. And what I'm finding is the more that we learn about Atlantean's golden age and the Lemurian times, that's going to help us get to this new golden age that we're coming to, which is said to be about 2032, according to Diana Cooper, and some other people out there. So it's really right around the corner. But also, we have this internal compass. And our early ancestors knew this. The whales follow the same ley lines, over and over, reinforcing those ley lines for us. There's very ancient beings on this planet. But our ancestors knew that the earth shifts and the waterways and everything. And of course, they didn't rely on GPS. They had their own internal compass. And we, as healers and sovereign divine beings that are in our own energy, need to also tune into where do we need to be in life? Like literally the location, and see how it makes you feel. So if you're somewhere that doesn't feel good, it's really important to listen to that and honor that, because you could literally even be on aggravating ley lines that could be draining your energy. Never mind, the portal itself just being like quicksand. Like when I lived in Tampa, Florida, there were no mountains. We were always flooding. I was like, wow, this doesn't feel very great. It was always humid. It was very oppressive for me. That's why some people say like Colorado, and just higher ions or being near water. But yeah, tune into what you need and also refresh your energy too and go to these natural spots to recharge your batteries, because we are human batteries. We got a positive and negative polarity, it's why we're not flying off the earth. We're very grounded beings, and as far as we can expand is our depths go equally down to all the parts of the planet. And with that being said, I thought we could play around with that today. And I always bring in a little dragon prayer. And, prayer is something, and my feet are buzzing now. So the dragons are ready and very here for me right now. But, prayer, we used to do in church, and it just felt like rhetoric. It felt forced. It felt a little fake, perhaps, or you were just asking for things, but not really connecting. You have to meditate to actually receive the answers, right? But I find that when it comes to dragons, they're very sacred. They need to also be called in a way of honoring. And, it's also good to, feed them and bless them, and give them energy and your own private dragon's energy. But let me just get started. All right, ground and center. Take a breath. Dropping into your body, relaxing your feet, your toes, your legs. Just letting go of your physical form. Notice if there's any place of tension, just let it go. When we call on Great Alpha Dragon, our Universal Father, help us to transition to a new era. As you break down our old world, may you guide us to the right inspired actions. Please communicate to us the divine codes and templates to be held by us and Great Mother. Great Universal Sophia, our Universal Mother, help us to nurture our temples. As we do so, we heal Earth and her new aspect, Gaia. Help us to navigate this planet with love, safety, and grace. Help us to remain grounded while in our heart space. We accept your miraculous ways. And we command and ask you, Great Mother and Father, to help us release vows, curses, contracts, and wounds from our ancestral lineages in this lifetime and past lifetimes, breaking all soul ties, karmic contracts that are no longer for our greatest good. Beyond time and space, through every dimension and parallel realm, so be it. And that's one of the many dragon prayers that I offer up. Some of them are also, the different quarters and the cross quarters. But, even though we're online, it's important to protect our individual containers, asking that only beings of unconditional love and light enter, even on the ethers and through the internet. Things want to slip in and we say, not today, not today. And also when the dragons get recorded, it could be so strong and powerful. Sometimes things go in and out with technology. I've noticed, I don't know if you've ever noticed that. But I want to talk a little bit about the Lemurians specifically and our early tribes that were here. They came before the Atlanteans, and at some point they did intersect their civilizations. But the Lemurians are much like the Avatar blue people in the movie to me. And I had a wonderful experience with them in Mount Shasta. I was there. It was an equinox. And we know that when equinoxes occur, like solstices, time stands still. And we were able to view the mountain and play with many little people. So when the veil drops and time stands still, everything was revealed. It was me and three other ladies. We were forming a circle of all the elements. I was earth. And I was just told to hold the energy, just be the container for it. And that is pretty much my essence. I'm just a bit fae-like and, loving like a mama. And so what we found when we were holding this energy and also viewing what was going on outside, Mount Shasta to me was a star station, and ships were coming in and rebooting their energy. And then we were seeing dragons as well. And I have many pictures of dragons, and I even have giant orbs as big as the sun that aren't the sun. It was a really miraculous time. And during that time, I journeyed with the Lemurians, who were very prominent there. I couldn't even tap into many other star systems there. And yeah, we took the beautiful journeys through the lava tubes, and they are a bit taller to me and blue in nature. And the dragons that they work with are rainbow. And to me, we see when you start working with the rainbow dragons, you'll start to see rainbows everywhere. And I believe that our original nature, we know our chakras are rainbow, but they're not as pure in vibration as we were when we were the first peoples, like the Lemurians. And so the Lemurians then were able to shapeshift into all the elements. We're carbon based, and yeah, we're carbon based, and they were more silicone, more etheric. But not only that, they had this beautiful capability of reading each other's minds, knowing how each other felt, forgiving instantly, and yeah, being one with each other. And this is a big, important part, too, of what also went on in the Atlantean civilization, where you had to pass through certain sacred chambers of healing the mind and your thought processes in particular, so that you then were of the highest vibration to go on to some higher healing. And I think, in our current healing paradigm, we miss a lot of that. We go straight for the physical. And most of the time, though, we are reaching outside of ourselves for help, assistance, even in calling in beings to help us. Please, please, God, just, take this pain from me and all these things. And though I'm not denying any of that, it's also time for us to realize our own divine sovereignty and power. So in my classes, I teach people that you are that spark of divine, But not only that, you are a portal. And so we activate the heart womb portals. We put dragon eggs in there for manifesting. We open up our wings and we fly to different places and we heal different places. And it's a really fun journey. And I thought that we could go on that today. I do find that something else the dragons really help us with when we become divinely sovereign is that we are breaking free from different matrices, false matrices, matrix, plural. So, that could be the Hollywood matrix and, following all of that and buying into you have to look like this and buy these things. But that can also be the matrix of having to work a 9-to-5 job, working, slaying all the time, to get where you need to go. And though hard work is very commendable, we have to realize that that is also very masculine, and our feminine energy, because we are both, is also the attraction and playing like the fairies, playing like the dragons, communing with nature, and being in the moment. It's a really important part of it. And so when we work on our own healing, we start to, well, what am I feeling right now? And what is that trigger that came up? And, how can I work on finding that root cause? And so I used a lot of the times the elemental dragons to tune in and see what my own divine nature is trying to communicate to me. You know, we all have a little too much earth or too much fire in us, and maybe we even need a balance of those elements as well in our beings. But we do have the same miraculous powers as source. And when we can realize that and tap in, we become really great and grand in our beings. And now dragon bodies, when we activate those, they sort of superimpose over ours, and they're much larger. Their chakras are in columns and rows, and we activate like 6 or 7 crowns, 3 third eyes, 4 ear chakras. And of course, big old legs, and tails. So you can get into that. But some of the ways too that you can tune into your body and what you're feeling if you're unsure is non-dominant journaling. And that means you use your non-dominant hand to fill in the blanks. So I am feeling triggered by my sister because, and then you can fill in the blank with your non-dominant hand. But we really need to keep practicing tuning in, maybe not wear watches, not use the GPS, get a little lost, tune into the mountains, the sun, when it sets at that time of year. Like, when the sun is rising, I know it's like 6 a.m. Like, you just know what time of day it is. And then, then we start to get into the rhythms and patterns of all of nature, much like the birds that know to fly south for the winter, that do the murmuration in groups. That is oneness. So a lot of times people think oneness is about just loving and accepting everyone for who they are. And though this is beautiful and can be a big part of it, oneness is truly coming back to your divine rainbow vibration. And so all of your body is in its pure power as well. And then as you see the dolphins and the horses running and the beautiful things, and you go, oh, that's just so beautiful, and you're just one with it, that is that feeling of oneness. And the advanced feelings of oneness is when you are maybe healing yourself and others, and you can't feel where your body begins and theirs ends. You literally just are in this bridge of energy. Yeah. So imagine, having that alignment, every day throughout the day. And we call on the dragons then to assist us in purifying the mind, and air dragons can blow in your ears, and fire dragons then can light the ley lines ahead of you, and you just send them ahead of you to get your day going. um, and I like to use the dragons a lot for protection. And I know that protection is a big topic, and whether we need it or not. And I find that the more you channel, the higher vibe that you might be bringing in for others. Maybe you even work with a bigger collective. Yes, it's very important that you cleanse and clear your energy, because we're vibrational beings, and we attract and pick things up like sponges. And some of us, in particular women in the womb space, are literally just suck up everybody's energy around us. And we don't always know it. It's not always conscious. But there are the conscious things, like you could just be at the store and somebody can look at you funny, or they look at you sexually, and try and attach cords and energy to you. And so, I teach that if you fill up your entire being with all the light and the dragons assist us, then there's nothing else can get in, you know? But then the protection that we do, and I'll give you another story where the dragons protected me greatly. I live in an apartment complex, a really nice one though. And I had a neighbor just, I just was on my balcony, I guess, and he was peeking through, and he was being angry because my kids were loud, I guess. And, kids will be kids, right? And he was very much ridiculing us and yelling at us, and he was probably even inebriated. And I just gave him a what for. But I was also scared. And so, as a single woman, you can get also fearful, and you have to step into your masculine more than you want to, and then you start getting drained. And so then the dragons taught me that if I just bring them in and they activate around me and protect me, I could sit peacefully in that space without fear. And so I was fearful at the time of this gentleman that was seemingly, I even felt like he was going to come around a corner at me. Like, that was the feeling I had. And so I pulled those dragons in, and I asked that they bless and protect our space in the most dramatic way, stomping my feet with the ley lines, being the dragon myself. And I tell you what, I didn't even see that man for 3 months. Like, it was just, he disappeared. And so, to give you an idea of, and then, like Kuan Yin's peak dragons of compassion, they work with me daily, pouring in their sacred waters into my heart. So when I'm approaching situations that might be less than loving, or, I tend to be like a full sort of Care Bear loving type of person, and not everybody wants to feel that, But in order for me to just be able to emanate that and not take on anything else too, I call in Kuan Yin's dragons, and they fill up my heart, and I drop into my heart space, and I feel the love emanating from me. And that is the axis of our entire system, is our heart, and we attract everything with the heart as well. But if we could just feel the love and then enter a room, it shifts the whole space. And that's what we're here for. We're here to be beacons of light. We're here to help others realize their power and potential. And regardless of all my training and things I've done, I've even beat cancer with the dragons. I just want to see everyone else achieve the same, to be in their pure sovereign divinity. Yeah. So we know that the earth also has portals and vortexes in a lot of these areas that the ley lines intersect. Some of them will feel like they're pulling on you. Some of them are giving you energy, so be aware of that. But, I dare you, I challenge you to think about where you are in this space and time and be drawn to those areas that bless you and have dragon energy. And it might even be the waterways. Now, we know that the planet is mostly water, and our beings are mostly water. So if you use your internal compass then to be drawn to the closest body of water that's near you, notice where you lean, notice where you go to those areas, bless those areas, even with little crystals, Reiki, whatever energy that you can offer, and feel that blessing from that water energy and those water sprites and water dragons, because they're really such a part of us. And even when we shower, everything we drink, call in those water dragons. They're not only are they psychic in nature, but they're helping to flush, repair, and I like to use them after the fire dragons to even steam clean my body. And so that those portals and energy that we feel in the earth are also within us, beyond, above and beyond our major chakras. We have all these little points within us. So let's find one today. So here is our collarbone, right? And just below that, you're going to feel these little indentations. And I teach this even in my Reiki classes, that we do the cross tap to align our energy then, so that this hand is connected to the opposite leg, this hand to this leg. So we're supposed to be in an X. When our body is running parallel, we're just giving it all away, giving it all away. So my early days of teaching Reiki, and even words, human words, I would attune people and I would get tired and drained and I would need to rest. And finally, when my shaman told me, well, you must be running parallel, you got to reset. So I reset every day. So I cross tap, thump the thymus, and then go under the ribs with just like 3 fingers, like so. And that resets my energy so that I'm not feeling drained by others. It's, everything's working for me. Sometimes if you wear like bags that, shoulder bags, that could set your energy off. If you're someone that sort of limps and leans, So just, focus on resetting more for yourself. But you'll find, these little points within that we have. And I even have like a whole energy of the breaths workshop, because, I found my own cancer, by the way, and then electively went in to get scans, some treatment, and I did a lot of natural stuff. But a lot of my healing was in the mind and with the help of the dragons and clearing out what no longer served me. And you have to go really deep with that. And you're very called to do so when you have a dis-ease like that, right? But as you go in to the space, you'll feel, all the little indentations and spots. And we have lots of these, even, under the arms, even in the face. So when we start to work with our body, we first, are doing things physically with the hands and healing, and maybe even stroking, right? Massage where it hurts. Whenever we hurt ourselves, we touch it, But in time, you close your eyes and you start to feel those areas. So you dive into your chakras. You go a little deeper. Our chakras, to me, are like jawbreakers, where they have all these layers. Each layer then is like physical, as the outer layer, emotional, mental, and then you get into your very core, which are the deeper spiritual layers. So each of your chakras has all of that going on within it. So there are emotional things in the root, spiritual things in the root. So it could get really deep. That's like healing your total cosmic blueprint. But then I also will I'm gonna like travel a route in my body. And knowing the anatomy of the body is also very key. Your lymphatic systems, your blood systems, how everything flows, what your organs are. But take little journeys. Make yourself miniature. Go into your own little Merkaba crystal vehicle. All of our crystals have dragons in them too, or angels, however you want to look at that. But they're living, breathing organisms, as is the earth. And so the more we heal ourselves, we're helping the planet as well, because that same energy matches in her. So the earth then, I believe, has many layers and aspects as well, with our earliest peoples, the Mu, being in the very core, and the Lemurian lifetimes. And so when we go down into the earth, we can perceive a lot of dragons and worlds that were here before us. And I believe that that Gaia grid that is occurring, this new template, is a sort of another layer or aspect of our planet and what's going to be going on with us. Beautiful. So within the earth also, you can jump into other Stargate portals. You can ask your dragons. Maybe you're working even with a star tribe, or you want to discover that tribe. So one of my favorite tribes is the Andromedan dragons. I call it the pink planet of love, but you might perceive it however it works for you. But instead of even flying out and away, though that's very fun, and we might fly up as high as the 12th dimension of pure love, to go to these other star systems and do the things, you could just go dive into the earth and ask to be led to that portal specifically. And yeah, you will be drawn there. I tend to see these portals as a mix of all the elements swirling. It can also be, especially the Lemurian portal, a rainbow disc or a waterfall with the rainbow colors. Yeah, enjoying that. So we'll take a little journey today and see where you go, see where you would like to go. Wonderful. All right. So I thought we would get into a little bit of exercise and yeah, maybe flap our wings even, right? So the little intersection points in our body, I call them dragon tracks. And in Atlantean-Crystal Reiki, I teach how to use the crystals on the body in different ways. And so you can get a terminated point like so. I really love this one. It's definitely Lemurian. See how it's got a little rust in the bottom there? And you could take this crystal and you can then follow your dragon tracks, your ley lines, wherever you feel guided, right? Like right here, I'm feeling a little congestion. I got a little stuffiness today. And I'm just gonna, now I've already cleansed and programmed this crystal for healing, by the way. And when the light enters, how amazing is that? And you just start to even trace the fingers. So our dragon tracks are also all of our lines in our hands, all the lines in our feet, even the lines on our face. Embrace those. You earned those, right? And then you can also, allow those points to be between chakras or place them at a chakra, swirling them counterclockwise, I like to do, and then flick it out. You can even do this with your magical hands in the shower. And then I'll take my right dominant hand and go clockwise, swirl it back. Ooh, maybe I want it to be faster and bigger today. Our hearts are huge. And then you could do a really lot of great things at the feet as well. And our feet are magnetic and they have all those dragon tracks. Every step that we take leaves our imprint on the planet. The places we were born have significance. And so a lot of you are thinking where to meet your dragons, where's the best place for you to live, to be connected to your dragon tribes. And so I want you to dive into that even on your own today, get into some journaling, even pull out a map, a map of your area, your state, get a pendulum, see where it feels drawn to. If it circles big, that's a hard yes. Back and forth is probably a no. You can even do the, it's where you take your birth chart and it checks out the ley lines of the planet. The name escapes me, but that's okay. But you could, astrocartography, that's what it's called. And you could see, what are the lines that are best for you for abundance? What are the best ones to meet soulmates? Yeah, all of that comes up also in astrocartography. But again, use your inner knowing. Use your own compass, your internal compass for everything that you do. Yeah. So another way I like to use crystals, and that you can, is this is a selenite. Some tools for massage, then they're going to be more rounded like this. Okay. And then you can get into your spots and give them a little twist and push and blessing also. And so this is a little bit more of a massage tool. You can also roll it, and you can have light oils on yourself as well. But rolling, this is all, and knowing your body, and this is all lymphatic. So in my Kundalini Yoga and Shakti program, I do a lot of stuff like this where we're getting out the lymph in the face and the body, even the legs. So knowing your systems, everything comes into heart in the lymphatic. Yeah. So working with yourself, becoming that star, becoming aligned with all those vibrations. Good. Let's flap our wings and come into our space now to literally activate a big dragon wing activation. So first, notice your toes. Stomp them around a little bit. Stomp your toes forward. Intention to clear the ley lines ahead of you. Okay. Stomp your heels. Intention to clear the ley lines behind you. Stomp your right foot, clearing to the right. Stomp your left foot, clearing to the left. Fully dropping down into your body again. Your sit bones release. Good. Your pelvis, your thighs, your glutes, your legs, your toes. And now I want you to notice your tip of spine. Allow your dragon's tail now to sprout, to grow, to descend down, down, down. Let it pierce with its beautiful point, the crust of the earth. the mantle, down, down, down until you see Gaia's crystalline core. You might perceive it as a beautiful crystal. Just wrap your tail around her. That'll help you ground throughout our process today. Good. And we invite now the elemental dragons of earth, air, fire, and water. We invite our own dragon guides to assist us in this process today to activate our dragon wings at the highest level and capacity that is allowed at this point in time. And we call in the silver, gold, and violet flame dragons of Metatron and Saint Germain to pour in from above us a beautiful column of light. This violet flame now is burning away anything that is not of light, just pushing it down, 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 giving it to the earth where it will recycle. It's like a curtain of light, a column of light. Good. Now I want you to tune in to the front of your heart. And as you sort of sink in your awareness to your heart, drop down into there. Maybe your psychic eye literally looks there, or it's a feeling for you. You might even hear it or see it. Now the outer petals of your heart are green, full of love, love for nature, love for Gaia. And we allow those petals to brighten, heighten, open, blossom. And our flower opens a little deeper now as we go into the pink petals of unconditional love. And Kuan Yin's pink dragons of compassion are here. Feel the love a moment. Let the beautiful waters pour over you. Going a little deeper now into the white petals of pure love, divine love. Breathe it in. This is the love from our goddess, from Sophia, from our universal cosmic mother. Good. And now going a little deeper as you push through to the back of your heart. I want you to bring your awareness now between the shoulder blades. Taking some deep breaths there. Maybe move the shoulders a little. You can even flap your wings. Open the heart. Good. Let the arms drop, hands to sides or in the lap. Really lift the chest. Feeling that your body and spine is getting an even longer space. You're like growing. Take a deep breath. Allow it to come up to chest. Really feel it come up all the way to shoulders. Fill up that space and back of heart. Good. As you exhale, feel the back of heart expanding. That heart chakra is growing. First infusing it with your love and light. And now I want you to visualize your sacred wings right between the shoulder blades, just sprouting powerfully from your back like a blossoming flower. They're unwinding, unfurling, even like a fern. And now you let them expand fully. And as you do, you start to move them around. Notice if they're gossamer, if they're feathery, if they're spiky. Get to know your wings, get a little comfortable with this new embodiment of you. Good. Move those wings. And as you clear the energy with your wings, make the sound shoo, 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 shoo. Lowering the arms, feeling that beautiful wing connection. Your wings are sprouting larger and larger. Now, our wings are a beautiful ascension tool. They're holding in each of the parts little key codes for you, helping you then to bring in all that dragon light language, dragon light codes that might be here for you today. But they also can come in and protect you when needed. These are your sacred wings. Get comfortable with this new embodiment of you. Good. And now in a moment, we are going to astral travel to a sacred place. And I want you to think of a sacred place, maybe you've never been, so that you can view it for the first time. And on the count of 3, we're going to push off with our beautiful, strong dragon legs. They are strong, they are thick, they are sturdy, but they also can be light as air as we push off. So on the count of 3, we're going to push off and also flap our dragon wings. Ready? 1, you know you can. 2, allow it to happen. 3, pushing off now. And now I want you to just ask to be led to this place that you want to go, the sacred space you've always wanted to go. And I want you to arrive now. Sort of land, slide in, and be aware. Be aware of the beauty here. I'm sensing a lot of beautiful places. And now ask the dragons that are here, if they are so willing, to reveal themselves to you. And there are many in all of the elements. Some are small, some are big. Expanding your own dragon wings, let them know that you have shape-shifted into one of them. And now with your beautiful dragon wings, the dragons are going to send you transmissions of light and frequencies and allow you to receive them. And they're going to fill up your wings and come all the way down into your beautiful dragon hearts. Listen to the key codes, feel the energy. Some of you see it, some of you know. Those are my water dragons. There's definitely some bodies of water going on in this experience. Allow yourself to be filled. Allow yourself to be encompassed with this beautiful light that is now not just energy, but knowledge. And this sacred knowledge you're going to bring in over a period of time. You're going to remember that you have access to it, and more will come in every day. Good. And when you're ready, acknowledge these dragons. Let them know you would like to work with them further, if so. And ask them how they would like to work with you. Good. With a beautiful acknowledgement, maybe a nod, maybe even a knocking of dragon heads, meeting of the third eyes. We are now going to push off and return back to our spaces and our bodies. Ready? 1, 2, and 3. Push off. Flying about, looking above the planet, seeing the lit side of the planet, the oceans, the land, coming back to your country, your state, your city, orchestrating yourself right back down into your toes. Good. And so those are some ways that you could play with the dragons. In the journeys I teach others, we usually start off on simpler journeys and then we go deeper in our awareness, deeper into the planet, deeper into our beings as well. Nice. And as you're here in your space, keeping your meditative state, I want you to feel, sense, and know that the earth dragons and the earth mana is coming up your feet, cleansing and clearing each of your chakras. Let it purge each one about 7 times, going down to the core in each of the layers. Slowly bring it up, up, up. Notice where it gets a little stuck. Spend some time there. Bringing it up further, let it overflow in those areas like the heart, throat, third eye, and crown. Earth dragons come out the crown, come around your aura. They're playing playfully, picking things off your aura as needed. And now the air dragons come in from below you, and they're just wisping and breathing, and lots of tones are coming from them. And they're filling up the spaces and gaps where there were possibly cords and attachments previously, giving them beautiful light. Filling up all of the chakras, cleansing and clearing and overflowing them, going down even to the DNA. Until it gets all the way up into the head space, and they're blowing in your ears. They're clearing out the heavy thoughts, the mental thoughts of, negative thinking about yourself and others. Because we are all one. Good. And now we invite the fire dragons, and they're coming up from the feet. They're alchemical fire. It doesn't burn, and it's just blowing in this beautiful gold, red, yellow, and golden hues, overflowing in each of our chakras, burning away anything else that doesn't serve us on every level, beyond time and space. In particular, any cords I'm sensing from past lives in our solar plexus area where we have felt out of control in this lifetime, where we have felt abandoned by our source, by our loved ones, and where we need to empower ourselves. Fire dragons are now assisting even further. And they light up your heart. Good, reminding you that you are love. Beautiful. Bringing it all the way up, let it fountain out the top. And now the water dragons come in with their steam clean. And it's not that they're putting out the fire, but they're merging with the fire and further steaming, and water is going through the body now, much like a kettle and its steam. And I'm seeing them as like little sprites, almost like little paisley energy, that you might see, you know, in a petri dish or in the sky and the clouds. And it's just lots of swirling and cleansing and swishing, because you have so much water and crystals in your body. And so they are moving through all of your pathways now. And allow it to come up, overflow. And now you are a fountain of all of the elements. And with loving grace, we ask now the golden dragons. They could be solar for you. They could be the Lyran dragons. They could even be the gold white dragons of Christ lineages. And you allow that to pour into you, its divine elixir. And this golden dragon then has, that comes from its mouth, this uthrial, this sort of dragon spit or goo that repairs you. And you're just going to allow it to pour down this golden elixir all the way down, 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 sealing up all of the work the other dragons did. And it fills you up all the way down to your feet. And I'm sensing we almost feel like an Egyptian statue full of golden light. Now I want you to anchor that down into the planet. Anchor it below the ley lines. Let it spread out. Good, good, good. Send it to the core of Gaia. All of that beautiful dragon love. Let it even come out your tail. Allowing any further pain, anything on a physical level to be released, any further emotions to be released, any further mental thoughts that do not serve you to be released. Anything on a spiritual level that needs to be aligned so you can be on your highest ley lines today in your purpose work, allow that to occur. And now follow your inner compass. Good. And come on back to your bodies. One of the chants for to heal our inner waters that I was given by my teacher is Iniagua. So chant that with me now 3 times to end our session. Iniagua. 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 And I challenge you to do that 108 times. I love you all so much. Thank you for allowing me to be here in this space with you. And traveling to visit the dragons in astral is very important. I do feel it's time that we do a lot of the physical travel. So in addition to teaching by energetic workshops that you can find in my links, I'm also a travel advisor, and I really want to get people to these sacred places so that we can bring in even more transformational healing to ourselves and the planet, for we are one with her. And that ends our session today. Thank you. We are one.